What's going on, NuCanoe Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Unlimited. Tonight we got Danny Uribe in the house. Pretty sure I pronounced that right. I forgot to ask him, man. He's giving me the thumbs up. All right, we're good. Welcome back. I'm your host, Brian Schiller. We're here every Tuesday evening, 7 Central, 6 Eastern. And drop a comment where you're tuning in from, what kind of boat you're floating out of. Smash that share button in the lower left-hand corner. Let's get some folks in here. Let's get this thing started. As we go on throughout the evening, talking to our guests, if you guys have any questions, comments, things like that, feel free to drop them down in the chat. We'll get those answered. Danny is no stranger to big bass, as I definitely underestimated how many big bass when we were talking before we kicked this little thing off. So without further ado, we'll get Mr. Uribe in here. And I screwed up last week. I said you were from California. You moved on me a year ago. You're in Texas now. So Danny Uribe from Texas, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We got Romel in the chat already. Evening, fellas. What's up, Wizard? The wizard himself is in the house. I like it. But welcome to the show, man. As always, we always start off, how you got into fishing, how you got into kayak fishing, how you got into a NuCanoe, man.
I started early on. Obviously, like you said, I was from California. I moved to Texas here about a year ago. Today, actually, almost. I started trout fishing up in the Sierras, doing the whole stream thing.
Nice.
Salmon eggs, split shot, 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Loved it. My dad would take me up there. We kind of had our yearly trip, and just that's what I love to do. Obviously, I got into watching Bill Dance and Roland Martin, all those guys, and watching them catch bass. And my dad actually ended up buying a bass boat, bass tracker.
Nice.
Shoot, I was probably 6 years old, and he would take me to the local lake, and we'd fish bass, and it just kind of grew from there, man. I just got the bug, got obsessed with it, and just chased it. That's all I did. 16, bought my first bass boat. Fished my first tournament at Lake Havasu with the Western Outdoor News. Fished their pro-ams as a pro. Signed up, fished FLW, Stren Series West Coast Division.
Nice.
Back when they had that. Did well enough to know that I could do this and hang.
Yeah.
And chased it. Did it for 4 or 5 years, and then got into saltwater fishing. Got the bug. Did that for 6 years of just hardcore saltwater fishing. I did, Bisbee Black and Blue tournament. Did a lot of local marlin tournaments in Southern California. Did that for a while, and then got back into bass fishing when I was around 26.
Okay.
And then got a boat. I just started doing local team tournaments and doing decent. Had a guy, so so I've worked in the industry as well. I did reel design with a company back when I was 20. I worked with Accurate Fishing Reels for a few years. And then from there, I actually started designing my own rods and started a small rod company. And met a guy up in Bakersfield, which is kind of central California, and he was into kayak bass fishing, and it just kind of piqued my interest. This was 2018, probably the end of 2018, and started looking it up. Saw Chad Hoover's videos. It looked fun, looked cool.
Sure.
And I saw how big it really was. I was like, this is kind of the direction that the industry's kind of taken right now. and I wanted to be a part of it. The other thing I really liked about it is it was head to head. You know, you didn't have, you know, someone in the back of the boat. You weren't,
Yeah.
you know, you couldn't feed off someone's information. You had to do it all yourself.
Sure.
And really, outside the Elite Series and MLF and maybe a few others, there isn't real head-to-head matchups.
Right.
So kayak fishing is kind of that gateway to figuring things out for yourself, you know, making good or bad decisions. And so 2019, January, I picked up a feel-free Dorado. Never fished anything in a kayak. I signed up for my first KBF event in March of 2019 at Lake Havasu. Had a top 10 finish there. Went to San Vicente and fished the next KBF event there and finished the top 10. I don't remember exactly, maybe 6th or 7th.
Right.
Then I fished Otay, finished 4th there. And then Clear Lake, we had the regional championships and finished 8th and was able to get Angler of the Year for 2019 on the West. So it was a good year, obviously. Again, I really like the head-to-head matchups. That's kind of how I got into it. I knew kind of from after 2019 I was going to pursue this thing. COVID hit, obviously, 2020, and that's when I kind of went hiatus a little bit, and then decided to take that time to move to Texas and get my family over here. And that would honestly put me in a better position to fish tournaments on more of a national level.
Sure.
You know, California is more of an island when it comes to tournaments. You know, there's just not a lot of options.
It's interesting that you bring that up because I remember now in 2019, you know, you had that killer year in California, and that was my rookie year fishing KBF events as well. And you were leading for rookie of the year that year. And you didn't come out to the championship in Mississippi. So then Brundle ended up winning it. And I remember because like I was up there, I think I was in like, I don't know, 5th or 6th or something for rookie of the year, you know, going into the championship. And we're like, dude, that dude's not going to drive out from Massachusetts. The other dude's not driving out from California. We got a chance at this. There was a couple of us talking. And you didn't show up, but Brundle did. So, yeah, it's crazy. But like you said, I know that's like that's a huge thing. You know, talking, you know, tournament wise, like the California guys always feel left out from the national events because they're so far out there. You know, and then for you guys to come, you know, all the way out to like the Midwest or the Southeast or something. I mean, that's a lot of travel, man. A lot of travel.
Yeah, it's a long way to come. And honestly, I mean, it was in La Crosse, I believe, that year.
Yeah.
Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 3 weeks after our event over at Clear Lake. And it's like, you know, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, it's basically packing your stuff up from there and going, you know, 3-day drive.
Yeah.
You know, so it was hard.
Should have called me, man. I would have hooked you up with a kayak. You could have flown in.
I had some, was it Mike Cheatham? Get me a kayak. It was so tight and close, and I had work, and, you know, I regret it.
Yeah.
But
I hear you.
It'll be in the back of my head for the rest of my life. But
sorry, didn't mean to rub the sore spot there.
Well, rookie of the year is the only thing you can only get once. You know.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. Very true.
But, yeah. 2020, I fished just one event. Was April monthly or something. I wanted to win that so I could just get into the 10 Invitational for this year.
Sure.
So I ended up winning that one, and then kind of just stopped at that point. Moved everything here, and then regrouped, and then got going back in Kissimmee. And that's the other thing, you know, I was able to go all the way to Florida and fish that. Would have never been able to do that from California.
Sure.
So,
Right on.
but yeah,
Right on.
so I jumped on NuCanoe this year. Super happy about that. They've helped me out a ton. Boats are great. Um, I can't complain about performance.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
they've
Did
been
you
well. And
did you get a new unlimited? Are you in an
I did.
unlimited? Yeah,
I
because you
did. I
were in
used it.
were you in a Frontier or a Pursuit last year?
I had a Frontier last year.
Yeah.
Fortunately, only got to use it for the one monthly deal, but I jumped into a Pursuit for this year, the beginning of this year. So I used the Pursuit in Kissimmee. I used it in the monthly. I just had Fort Worth. I literally got the unlimited a week before Fort Worth,
Gotcha.
and I'm glad I had it because it was blowing like 20, 25 the whole time.
Have you paddled the unlimited?
Yeah. Yep.
So we got a
Yeah.
question in the chat
Yep.
from Richard. He's asking, when going down a river, I'm having a hard time correcting the steering of the unlimited. Where should the seat be placed for best steering?
So I have it behind. So the front of the seat is right behind the two side plates.
Yep.
The black little panels they have there that you can mount things to.
Yep.
Front of my seat is right behind that. I try to put my seat as far back as I can. Um, the thing that boat does want to kick out a little bit, so the more weight you can kind of distribute into the back, I feel like it keeps it more true.
Totally agree with that. I got my seat placed in the kind of the same spot. So like the front edge of my seat would end, or the front part of my seat starts pretty much right where the end of the deck pads are, almost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So kind of same thing.
Yeah.
But which is right behind those two black access panels as well.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. Very cool, man. So hopefully that helps you out, Richard. Gives you a little better. I know a lot of people have been kind of, because there's so much deck space, they don't know where to put the seat.
Yeah, I mean, I like the open deck too, so I do like having it further back because I walk up and down the deck a lot. Especially fighting fish or measuring fish, I like to have a lot of space in the front. So if I'm crunched over on my knees, I got the fish right there in front of me, and I can put him up against the screen of the unit. I have a 12-inch Lowrance in the front, and I can pin that fish right there, and he can't get away, can't flop off the boat.
Yeah, right on. I like it. So going back, man, I mean, let's unpack this a little bit, because obviously you're a very competitive fisherman. Like it seems like tournament fishing has been your thing since the beginning. So I mean, what kind of inspires that competitive edge in you?
Yeah, I've just been competitive in everything I do, man. That's like,
Yeah.
I got my 12-year-old son's the same way, so we're just really competitive. I don't know, man. I got to win at everything.
I like it.
I'm just that kind of guy. Fishing for me, I love the sport. I love the competition. That's the other thing I love about living in Texas and fishing these tournaments is you're fishing with the top guys, in the nation.
Yeah.
You show up to Kissimmee, we had 144 guys fishing
Yeah.
this tournament.
Right.
You had Russ in there, you had everybody.
Yep.
So if you finish well, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, and that's always been the talk, right? In the kayak fishing community, as far as like the competitive bass fishing aspect is, if you can go down and fish a tournament in the Southeast or Texas and you do well, like you're doing something right,
Right.
because you're definitely always facing the best of the best, whether it be, the GOAT himself, Mr. Russ Snyders, or, Josh Stewart, Ron Champion, Drew Gregory. I mean, the list can go on and on for sure. And,
Right.
you always seem to do all right. You're always up there at the top, man.
Yeah, I mean, my goal each tournament is to finish in the top 15%.
Yeah,
If I do that consistently, um, it is fishing safe,
sure.
but you know, I just feel like that's my main goal, especially right now. I don't know these waters. Fort Worth, day one tournament was my practice day.
Yeah.
Kissimmee had never even seen the place before. So it's all new. I got, so I am fishing conservatively right now. At the national championship, I will not. I'm definitely going to leave it all on the table. But
Right.
so right now, it's still kind of that learning curve. I'm trying to keep myself in the top 20 for points right now. Put myself in contention for the 10 next year. But everything's a learning curve for me right now.
For
California,
sure.
I definitely had dialed in a lot better. But they're just completely different. California fish is different than the whole rest of the planet. I feel like.
I love it. I love it. Ryan O'Neill's in the chat. He says, we got big bass in Florida, but Texas got giants. I like it.
And it's true, man. I'm a little shaken up with all the giant fish. I've never caught this many big fish in such a short amount of time.
We'll get to that. But we got a question from Ron Leeds tuning in on the YouTube channel. He said, other than bass, what do you like to fish for out of the kayak?
I have Canyon Lake up the way here. I don't know if does striped bass count?
Yeah, man. Anything. Well, I mean, you were talking too, like you like to chase trout when you were back in California.
Yeah, so I will say this: I live about 35 minutes from the trophy trout section of the Guadalupe,
Ooh,
and I went with a guy down it with just a tandem kayak that he had, and it was awesome. It was
yeah.
so much fun. I mean, you're just throwing a jerk bait and just catching fish one after the other. We must caught 20, 30 trout, all 2 to 3.5, 4 pounds, some of them. So,
I don't know,
yeah, I
man.
mean, I'll catch anything out of a kayak.
The more and more I talk to all you guys that are moving to Texas, it makes me want to go home and pack my bags.
We're blessed, especially. I mean, I didn't know it was that good coming here, to be honest. I didn't. I mean, it is that good for sure.
You gonna do some saltwater fishing out there on the Gulf now that you're down in Texas?
Yeah, yeah, that's the plan. I wanted to last year. I just didn't get around to it. But I'm going to take the pursuit down to the bay here, hopefully in the next month or two, and start getting into redfish and speckled trout. There's guys out here that catch giant cobias, big kingfish, right off just right out here on the kayak.
I got a guy, man. I got a guy. He can show
You
you
got a
some
guy?
spots.
I'm
I got a
in.
guy.
I'm in. Just let
I
them
got a
know.
guy. We'll
On my
talk
way.
after this. We'll talk after this.
Oh, for sure.
Raymond Martinez in the house. He says, Texas is home now, bro.
What's up, Raymond? He went and picked up my unlimited for me, so I owe him big.
Oh. PayPal address, Raymond. Drop your PayPal address. We'll get Danny to send you
Right.
for the Romel's asking, where's your biggest kayak bass from?
He's asking that because he knows where it's at. No, he built me the boat so my F12, I got a 12 and a half in California on the boat he built me.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know if Ramel did an awesome build for me. It was a Frontier 12. It literally had every gizmo and gadget you can think of on it, from dual live units to 2 power poles. lithium power. It was quite the build.
Some of the boats he builds, man, like I've almost thought about shipping him my boat and just I'll wait a few months for him to send it back to me.
Yeah, it's worth it, man. He does such a good job.
Where in California was the big bass for him?
It was Lake Paris.
Lake Paris. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
it's, Riverside, California,
Okay.
or I guess that would be Paris or Moreno Valley. But
And what's your big
yeah,
bass in Texas so far?
about right under 11.
Okay. You say the name of
So
the lake for that? Or are you going to keep that secret?
no, Choke Canyon.
Choke Canyon. Right on.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of guys fish that down there, man. They love that
No, dude,
area.
it's a community spot. It's nothing. Everyone knows about it. It's just there's just so much fish. It's just plugged. I mean, like I said, I sat on one spot, caught in one spot in the last probably 2 months. I've caught 200-300 fish off of one spot without moving the kayak at all.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Mark
unreal.
is in the chat. He's asking, do the big fish make up for the Texas heat?
Yeah, for sure.
I would say
I'll take
that's
the heat
a
all day. I
definite
don't
yes. Oh, that's awesome. Corey Taylor's in the chat, says he's getting an unlimited built by the wizard himself. Super stoked. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I'm jealous. I need to get in line. I gotta shoot
Yeah,
Romel a
yeah, the
message.
line's getting pretty big.
The shipping back and forth would probably cost me more than what the actual boat did, you know?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah.
My board shorts on YouTube is asking, can I trailer my unlimited with the outboard motor attached? I think he also dropped in there that he's got a Honda 2.3 going on there with an XI3. That is a great question that I personally can't answer. I would recommend just messaging the NuCanoe Facebook page or go on the website, and I would more than likely say no, but it may also depend on how you're trailering that thing as well. So I'm going to leave that to people that are a lot more intelligent than I am to answer that question for you, my friend. I'm sorry I can't answer that one for you. But so you know, 10 the 10 Invitational, that's definitely on, or the 10 I should say, is definitely on your hot list for this year to qualify for, man. So
Yeah.
what tournaments are you planning on fishing coming up for the rest of the season leading up to that?
I've got Kentucky Lake, KBF.
Okay.
That one I'm hoping to, get a top 5. And that will set me up for the NC. The NC, I'll fish the Trail Series Championship, the Challenge Series Championship, and then obviously the National Championship. I'm not far from from that zone, so I'll probably go check it out and break it down a little bit prior.
Yeah. Start making trips over to.
Yeah, start putting in the work because there's gonna be a lot of money on the line there.
Heck yeah, man.
A lot of bragging rights.
Heck yeah. And that's in Bossier City, Louisiana this year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what's the name of the lake, man? It's skipping my mind right.
Caddo, right?
Caddo Lake. Yep. Very cool, man. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive. That was last time it was there. That was the year that Mike Elsey won. And he was doing something kind of cool. I know that's when the fish were on beds and he was just fishing isolated trees out in the middle of nowhere, and people were looking at him like he was crazy, but he got the job done doing that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's going to fish it a little different, obviously. We'll kind of see how it goes, but I got a game plan. I got an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do, and start picking at it and see what happens.
What's your favorite style of fishing? You power fish, finesse fish? Like, what's your go-to bait for most scenarios?
Most of the time, I throw a swim bait.
Right on.
I would say 60% of the time I'm throwing a swim bait.
Like giant swim baits that all you guys from California throw, or are we talking like Kitex?
Both.
Both.
I'd say, I'm throwing 8 inch. I throw 8 inch HUDs here a ton. I've caught quite a few fish on a big Huddleston out here, and I throw 316 baits. 7, 8 inch. Kitech 5 inch baits have been doing really well. That smaller profile, you're just not going to catch a lot of giant fish, but you can catch a lot of 3, 4, 5 pound fish.
Right on. Right on.
But the Huddleston's been a big tool. I come from California. That's to me what a swim bait is, a big bait.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys are throwing a swim bait, but it's this big. That's not a swim bait. That's a paddle tail worm to me.
You making fun of me, bro? You making fun of me? That's crazy.
No,
I know guys that do it, man. I don't know what it is. I've never thrown something that big, and it's just like, what am I fishing for? Sharks, But like, I got a good friend of mine. He lives down on Table Rock Lake, and I mean, he's just throwing huge swim baits all the time, like you're talking about, and he's catching giants.
Yeah. I mean, it's once you get it, a few fish on it, then you figure it out.
Shane Lamont is in the chat. He said, just tell the truth. All you throw is a Senko. That's funny. So what kind of rod and reel and line setup are you using, to throw the big Huddlestons?
I'll throw a 7-foot, 11-inch heavy power, so 15, 30 pound. And then I'll throw anywhere from in California, I'd throw really light, 14 pound with it. Out here, it's 20, 25 pound.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can get away with straight Spectra out here pretty easily. So I do that sometimes. It just depends where I'm at. But most of the time, it's 20 pound, I would say.
Okay.
Probably the average pound class. As far as the swim bait, usually it's an ROF 5 because the water's real shallow here. California, it would have been an ROF 12. The techniques are definitely a lot different. You can get away with a lot quicker retrieve here.
Okay.
Than you can get away with over in obviously California. California, those fish have kind of learned this bait, so you got to fish it completely different. Whereas I fish the bait now here in Texas the same way I fished it back in 2002. The fish just haven't seen it a lot. It's a different approach. I mean, honestly, I'm catching 3-pound fish on 8-inch bait sometimes.
That's crazy.
You do get a lot of bites, so it keeps it interesting. California, if you got 2 bites in a day, you were pretty happy.
Sure.
Here it's like 5, 6, 7, 8 bites.
Huh.
You can get bit pretty readily on it, surprisingly, if you fish it right.
So what's like your cadence when you're on your retrieve?
Here it's honestly, so in California it'd be a real slow roll and stop. Here it's more of a let it hit the bottom and then crank it pretty quick and try to get it a foot, 2 feet off the bottom and keep it there. So it's more of a medium retrieve is what I would call it.
Okay.
You don't do really a stop and go here. It's more of just a steady, straight retrieve. And usually when they eat it, it is a just suck down the throat deal. It's pretty crazy. If you guys look on my Instagram, you can see some crazy shots of, the bait is just tucked down in the throat.
That's awesome. Speaking of Danny's Instagram, it's down there at the bottom, at Uribe Fishing. Go give him a follow. That's crazy, man. I got to do that. I've had a couple guys try talking me into it. I've never tried it. and I just heard it's intense. But I know you can get down that wormhole where you're spending thousands of dollars on big swim baits.
You can, and realistically, Brian, I mean, you don't have to spend that kind of money.
Sure.
You
Sure.
don't. It
All right.
doesn't take a $400 Roman made to get an 8-pound bite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right on.
I mean, that's more of that kind of niche-y, throwing it because it's cool and I can.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I can't and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would, if I bought that bait, it'd sit here next to the bass.
That's what I was going to say. It'd sit right there on the shelf, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw a $400 bait.
Yeah, to get snagged up on a log on the first cast.
I mean, to me, it's like, to each his own. To me, it's like, nah, I mean, I'm going to go catch the same fish on a Huddleston or a Livingston glide bait or an S Waver.
Right on. Yeah, and those baits are fairly cheap, right? They're like, what, $40-$50 maybe tops?
I would say if you're going to get into big bait fishing, I'd go get an S Waver 200.
Okay.
You're not in it deep, and it gets bit. You're going to get bites on it. You're going to get follows. You're going to get bites. That's a good starting point.
I like it. So that was the S Waver 200, right?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Check that out. All right, I see what you're talking about here. Made by River to Sea.
Yep.
What I'll do, boys and girls listening back at home, I will drop a link to that in the chat for you guys. So that way, if you're interested in checking out that bait, go check it out. Straight off Tech Warehouse. A little Google search there for you guys. Well, I always ask our guest this particular question. You got a Frontier 12 rigged up tandem. You can go fishing for the day with anybody dead or alive. Who's it going to be?
I'd fish with my wife.
Really? All right. That's different. I like it.
Hopefully she's watching this.
Yeah, you trying to score brownie points, bro, or what?
You gotta try, man.
That's
cool. Blame me for trying?
No, I don't blame you at all. You're a smart man. Do you guys fish together often, or
no? She never goes fishing with me.
All right.
Get her out.
You just want to get her out, get her hooked, so that way she goes fishing with you more often.
There we go.
I got it. Now you're going to have to, get another seat for that Frontier 12.
You know what? I got one coming for the Unlimited.
Oh, perfect.
So, once that thing comes in, I'm going to show her this. If she hasn't seen it already.
I like it. We got a question from Shane in the chat. Can you ask him his thoughts on the Fire Craw jackhammer and how many he owns? Your buddies are getting into you tonight. I like it.
Shane's killing me tonight. I like the Fire Craw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a whole Plano 7300 box full of them, or?
I've got buckets. I think I own every Fire Craw that's come out of Tackle Warehouse for the last 3 months.
No wonder they were sold out for so long.
Yeah, it's me. It's bad. I'm sorry.
It makes sense. You fish in that color all year round? I know a lot of guys like it in spring.
I'll tell you this much right now. Like, every fish I caught at Choke Canyon was on that Fire Craw. Nice. And they would not touch anything else. I've had boats literally just all over me and throwing Carolina rigs and all the crankbaits, everything. And literally I will throw on their boat, right next to it, and I'll hook one right there. I mean, they're just on that thing.
What trailer are you using?
The Rage Craw.
Okay.
Craw. I mean, it's out there. People know about it. I haven't seen it at Choke Canyon. Anyone throwing it? I haven't seen it. I threw it up in Fort Worth. And, you know, a lot of people weren't getting chatterbait bites, but they were eating the fire craw. You know,
Yeah,
it
it's
was,
interesting, man. It's something that a lot of folks believe color isn't everything, but sometimes it does make a difference.
that bait definitely makes a difference, in my opinion. I mean, I threw so many baits and just not getting bites. I mean, throwing Cincos and not getting bit.
Yeah.
And then you throw a reaction bait like that in there and they hop right on it. You know, I don't know
Well,
what it is, man. That color and that combination just gets destroyed
you just proved your
everywhere too,
point.
not just here.
You just proved Shane's point on all you throw is a Senko until you tie on that fire craw jackhammer, man.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Cinco gets bit.
It's interesting, man. I've had that same situation. You try throwing something a little finessey because you figure the fish are so finicky, and then you pick up something like a jackhammer or something like that. A faster moving action bait, and all of a sudden you're just getting chomped, which is
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'd rather be fishing that than a Cinco, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Cover a lot more water, a
oh,
lot more bites, all that
yep,
stuff.
yep, no, for sure. So yeah, I own quite a bit of them, so
Uh,
can't run out.
Mark, I'm gonna butcher your last name, Mark Sokoviak said, take your wife to the west end of Choke Canyon and show her a couple of the alligators. She'll be hooked.
Yeah, she'll love that.
I wouldn't recommend that, but that's what Mark's saying. Maybe that's what he
Yeah,
does with his wife.
right. Yeah, I doubt it.
Very cool, man. Well, we're winding down here, man. I'll give you the floor. You could plug anything you want, shout out anything you want, where people can follow you, all that good stuff, man.
No, for sure. Thank you. Obviously, I want to thank my wife. She puts up with me, allows me to do this stuff, and kind of soaks up the responsibilities of the house while I'm out fishing a lot. Boondocks, they're kind of jumped on board with those guys this year, and they've helped out and sent me a lot of equipment to get me going. I mean, I would not be able to get my kayak in the water literally out here with how busy it gets if I didn't have Boondocks. Obviously, I got to thank NuCanoe for getting me my unlimited. That thing absolutely made the difference up in Fort Worth. I was in 4 or 5 foot waves all day,
Oh, geez.
and it took it like a champ. I mean, never ever felt uncomfortable or unsafe. You can ask Shane too, who's mocking me on there. He was watching me go through 5, 6 foot waves sometimes with that boat, and man, I truly believe that unlimited is the best rough water kayak available,
I like it.
and nothing would change my mind on that. TH Marine, they helped me with a lot of equipment. Um, I know I'm missing all kinds of people, but bending branches, deck storage units, undercover tonneau covers for trucks. Um, if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. No, thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man, for allowing me to be able to do this. Obviously, want to thank our military. Keeps us safe, keeps us free.
Heck yeah.
But if I miss someone, I apologize. But that's all that's coming to mind right now.
Right on. Right on. Well, go give Danny a follow over at Instagram at Uribe Fishing, and you can see all his great photos and big catches and all that stuff, man. We wish you the best of luck this season. Hopefully we see you in that 10 house this year. That would be definitely cool. And I forgot to ask you too. Are you running bow mount motor on the Unlimited?
XI3. Yep.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I thank Motor Guide for that.
There you go. There you go. See, help
Good
me
job,
out.
Brian. Good looking out.
I thought you were running a bow mount. I just really wasn't sure, and I
Glad you
figured
said
I'd ask.
something.
Yeah, I figured it was either a bow mount or a torpedo on the back. It's one of the two, you know. A lot of that's a go-to for the tournament guys, you know.
Yeah, Motor Guide is the way for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Very cool, man. Well, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unlimited. We're here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock West Coast. See, I'm trying to get all my time straightened out. If you came in late, this video will be up on the Facebook page. You could always go back, watch it, and it also gets uploaded to any major podcast platform. Just search NuCanoe's Unlimited. So until next time, boys and girls, tight lines, smooth paddle. Peace.